Morning folks, it's race day here. The PMBA Enduro is upon us. As you might be able to see, we've got all sorts of people queuing up for getting their registration on. Park's super busy. I was open yesterday for practice, and I will get out and film some of the racing this afternoon, but first is the not so small matter of me catching up on the World Champs replay. Right, so that's the important part of the World Champs watched, very enjoyable as well, and now we're back into the racing. I'm over here at Gap because we've got from compared to last year, we've got a much higher percentage of people actually sending the Gap. Conditions are, let me get you pointed round onto the track. Conditions are oh, well in. Conditions are pretty tacky. You can see, I don't want to get too close, but you can see there's some tyre tracks in the dirt. It's tacky enough to keep grip. It's making for some fairly quick racing. We've got somebody else coming over. Well in. And it kind of feels like this year that people have found the line on the Gap jump. They're putting down and finding a lot more speed as they put down and taking into this bottom left hand corner, which I'll take you down to shortly, but it's a lot slicker than it actually looks, and it's a lot more tricky than it looks, so they're actually taking that with more speed. We're getting to see a few people weave their way through what you guys will know as double down, and on here they've got as it's listed as track 67. Good style! Some people are putting some style through. And yeah, I'll keep wandering you around and letting you have a look and see what's going on. But this was one of the first places that I came over to for a nosy. Go on, Ray! I'm not just picking him out, he used to work for us.
It's brighter here than it was last year.
Yeah, definitely. It was quite grey last year.
Yeah, it was.
We're just saying the sun's actually trying to come out. Trying. Well held. Well held. I'll do it. Good speed. True as well. Well over. Good speed out. Good girl. She was sticking some pedals in there as well. That's well held. Yes, that's the one. Good speed out and all.
Give us some.
Oh, kept low. Good speed as well.
That was so fast. I don't even think I got a photo. But I think we've got a while.
It's clean. That's the one. Right, I better go and get you some more angles or I could be guilty of standing here all day. Get in! Yes, good speed. Right, so we'll get you over to what you guys will know as double down, but what these guys are running as stage 6 and 7. It's quite, as you'll already know, it's quite twisty and turny. It takes a bit of threading your way through. Let's see if we get some footage of them. Oh, just got somebody else pinning it down there. Hey, up and over. Right. Oh, that's not a good noise. That's the one. So yeah, those of you that have, I'll just turn my back around so you can see. Those of you that have already ridden double down will know how twisty it is. Yesterday it had a ton of traffic over it, and oh, pinning it, go on, good speed. So yeah, as you can see, it takes quite a lot of body English to get through it and keep your speed through. Got somebody else pinning through here as well. That's the one. So yeah, it's let me just get you down to the track actually. As you can see, it is tacked up, but it is still squirmy on the route. Good speed. So yeah, for this track it takes quite a lot of rider input to get through, but from watching people over from the gap jump over there, you can see there's a few people that, oh, someone coming here. Good effort. Good speed. Yeah, so it's quite a lot of hip movement to get you through. It's something a bit interesting for them, or someone else come through on. Good speed, lads. Right, for those of you who haven't ridden the GAP track yet, have you got someone on the lens? Rain. For those of you who haven't ridden this track yet, you've got just at about this point, roughly where this tree stump here is, just before you get into some knuckle routes, you're about at the point of shit or bust. You're either going to do it or you're not. You'll see it comes down with a couple of paces in, straight down and shoots it over. It's not as easy as it looks, and some of these guys are making it look a lot easier than it is, but definitely by the time of these routes you need to be committed and in. Oh, slippy pedals. Go on, Ross, lad. Right, so the other line that is super tricky to guess as to which is faster is whether you take the jump and go for this tree here at the bottom of gap, or whether you go around. I've been studying about 5 minutes or so, and I've seen people do it fast both ways, so it's a bit of a tricky one. If you want to pull style points, obviously hit over the jump. Yes, lad. He should have 10 seconds knocked off his time just for styling it up. And I'm going to make you dizzy in your chair if I keep spinning you around like this. Get in, fella. You lit down the bottom end. Right, so we're over on the bottom of Gasoline Alley now. This is the just over where you might be able to see the marshal's feet is the top of the alleyway, and we'll catch a couple of people coming in. That's good speed through there. Good speed. That's a pretty quick run through there. It probably won't show up very well on GoPro, but the knuckle does kind of dive over, and it's quite rutted in there. Someone else coming too. That's the one, fella. Good effort.
One, Tony.
Yeah.
I think he's 36. I'm 26.
How's it going, man? You alright?
Yeah, good, thanks.
How are you doing?
Loving it.
Keep like this bits of sun keep trying to get out, and then
It pisses on
drizzle, and doesn't know what it's bloody doing. Right, we're here with as yet unconfirmed race leaders, Blandy and Ross.
Me, yeah.
I just want to ask you lads, how does it feel to have a camera shoved at you at the top of the push-up?
Not good, especially with this much sweat.
Right, as you can probably see behind us, we've got a few people starting to finish now. They're wandering around, getting back into the timing tent and seeing what the times are. It's still way too early to kind of give you any idea of what a winning time might be. So it's going to be a case of suck it and see what times come in. Right, apologies folks. I forgot that there's a couple of things that I forgot to do. I actually had a cuppa and ended up just watching and clapping during podium. So I'm sorry, I forgot to film them. We're now at a point where there's literally only me and Kev left. It's very much at the end of the day, and I'd also realised I forgot to close out this vlog. So there's a couple of things. That was obviously my vlog of the weekend, but there's going to be a much more professional one done from Ben at Hidden Media, so look out for that one. I'll repost it out on the Facebook page. But also the guy that I was having a bit of fun with before, Blandy, he actually did bloody podium, so he's done all right out of the day as well. But this is us. There's only us left. Well, Fraser here as well, having a bit of a check out and a nosy. But we're all done for the year. Thank you very much for coming if you came up here. If you didn't come up here, hopefully this might give you a bit of a taster and you can think about coming up next time. And we've had a good one, Kev, haven't we?
Yeah, and midweek on Pink Bike for a full race report with photos from Jerry Tatton and the Dowd in the UK photographers.
Oh shit, yeah, there'll be some good angles and all. I spotted those guys out. They were all over the shop, so
yeah, we'll
look
have
out for those.
Load of pictures up on the PMBA Enduro Facebook
Go and check
page.
that.
They'll be up in a bit. Podiums will probably be up by the end of tonight.
Jobs are good 'un. So if you haven't had a go at this Enduro series yet and you fancy it, now's the time to get your thinking cap on for next year. It is.
Hey, never mind next year.
Yeah,
7th,
yeah.
8th of October.
There's time.
The final.
There's time,
Drysdale. Still a few entries left for that one. Big 2-dayer. Practice Saturday, race Sunday.
Shit, yeah.
6 stages, 20-ish mile.
And that
Be good.
That one is similar in the fashion that I'm correct in saying that there's some stuff that you'll get to ride there that you're not usually allowed to unless you're doing the enduro.
Yeah.
So there's a bit of fresh stuff in there as well, or secret stuff that you don't usually get to do.
Couple of walkers trails
Yeah.
that you can't use outside events.
Bingo bango, you can't say any fairer than that. So guys, thanks very much for your time as always, and that's me for the day. I'm away for a beer and not a bath. See you in a bit.